Hello, and welcome again to Mr. Benjamin's Math World. In our last video, we were talking about the rules of signs in multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And we explained the rules separated. Now, we are going to combine those operations in one exercise. First thing we do is identify what operations we have. We have division, we have multiplication, we have subtraction, and we have adding and subtracting. If you remember the rules of signs, and if you remember the order of operations from our last videos, we need to remember that we need to solve the divisions and multiplications first, and then additions and subtraction. Here it says negative 4 divided by 2. I'm going to divide the numbers first, which is negative 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now I need to get the result for the sign. The sign is negative divided by positive equals to negative. Bring down the negative 5, bring down the negative sign, bring down the negative 4, bring down the plus 7, and close the parentheses. And now I'm going to solve these two. What operation are we talking here? This is a multiplication. As you can see, there's no sign between the negative 2 and the parentheses. So it means that these two terms are multiplying. Since they are multiplying, I'm just going to multiply the numbers. 2 times 5 equals to 10. And now I multiply the signs. Negative times negative equals to positive. Bring down the negative sign, bring down the negative 4 plus 7, close parenthesis. What I'm doing now is I'm going to get rid of the parentheses. So I'm going to solve this operation inside. Since I'm going to do that, let's bring down the plus 10. Copy the negative sign and solve this operation. Negative 4 plus 7 equals 2, 3. What sign? The signs are different because now we are adding and subtraction, not multiplication. And this is important to understand. I'm not saying negative times positive. No, because these two numbers are not multiplying. They are adding or subtracting. And the rule for addition and subtraction says when the numbers have different signs, we subtract the numbers and we copy the sign of the greatest. So when I subtract 4 and 7, I get 3. And the sign is the sign of the greatest, which is a positive 3. This negative sign is this one here. And this positive 3 is the result that comes from negative 4 plus 7 equals to plus 3 equals. Now, if you want to make it different, you just put a parenthesis here, not to have the two signs together, because when two signs are together like this is also a multiplication. If I erase, let me do this over. That's the negative sign. Negative 4 plus 7, we said positive 3. It's a little weird to have two signs one next to the other. And when that happens, these two signs are multiplying. Since they are multiplying, you may use parentheses, because parentheses mean multiplication. So you can put parentheses here. So here it says, bring down the plus 10, and you multiply what? The numbers? No, because the numbers are not multiplying. What are multiplying are the two signs, because this 10 is not multiplying the 3 because there's a negative sign between them. So what's multiplying is the negative sign with the positive sign. I brought down the 10, negative times positive equals to negative 3. Copy. Now, I have no more multiplications here. This is adding and subtracting. The rule says, when the signs are different, and they are, we subtract the numbers, which is 7, and we copy the sign of the greatest of the numbers, which is positive 7. And this is the way we solve operations involving rules of signs in addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let's see another one. What operations are we doing here? We have division, we have multiplication, addition, adding, subtracting. So what I'm doing first, I'm going to divide these two numbers. 8 divided by negative 2. 8 divided by negative 2 is 4. Because 8 divided by 2 is 4, and now I divide the signs. Positive divided by negative equals to negative. Bring down the parentheses, bring down the negative 7, plus, open, negative 8 minus 4. What operation do we have here? With a negative 4 and a 7. Remember, there's no sign between them, got parentheses, so these two terms are multiplying. So I'm just going to multiply the numbers. 4 times 7 is 28. Negative times negative equals to positive. Bring down the plus sign, and now I'm going to solve this operation. And the rules of signs in addition and subtraction, because there's no multiplication here. We are adding and subtracting. And again, the rule says, when the signs are the same, we add the numbers and we copy the same sign. When you add 8 and 4, you get 12. And you copy the same sign, which is negative 12. Close parenthesis. Bring down the plus 28. And now, I need to get rid of the parentheses. How can I do that? Well, remember what we said before. These two signs are multiplying. Where does the multiplication come from? The parentheses mean multiplication. So this sign is multiplying with this one. So it says positive times negative equals to negative. And bring down the 12. Equals. There's no more multiplication here. This is adding and subtracting again. Again, the rule says subtract the numbers. 16. And you copy the sign of the greatest of the number, which is positive. Let's make sure we are subtracting this correctly. It's just a subtraction. 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. 16. Subtracting the numbers and copy the sign of the greatest, which is positive. And this is using the rules of sign in multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And again, if you think this was a useful video, feel free to subscribe and activate the bell in order to receive further notifications. Also, if you have a specific topic of your interest, just write it down in your comment. See you next class.